Joe Osnoss helps run the U.S. business for private equity firm Silver Lake. He recently closed Silver Lake's biggest investment to date, a $1 billion stake in Skype. He says Silver Lake's focus on technology companies has been a saving grace through the crisis. And Joe joins us now from the CFA Institute annual conference in Boston. Joe, thanks very much for spending some time with us today. Why don't we talk about first the tech sector? I mean, why you think it's been your saving grace during the crisis? What are the benefits of being a private equity firm looking at tech as opposed to other kinds of deals?
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks a lot for having us today. The interesting thing about this last financial crisis in 2010 is comparing it to the financial crisis in 2001. In 2001, everybody was blaming technology for the excesses, and I think this time around, people are looking to technology for ways to help them in their businesses. Every area of the economy is using technology now to increase revenues, decrease costs. And so it's been a good time to invest in the technology sector over the past few years. It's been one sector that's been pretty resilient because the rest of the economy has been more and more dependent on it, especially when you can't financial engineer your way out of problems. You have to actually create productivity in your businesses.
You know, Joe, that certainly makes sense, seems logical, but nonetheless, most folks would say, you know, you're so exposed in one sector, technology specifically, doesn't that really kind of expose you to too much risk, kind of make you vulnerable?
Sure, it's a great question. We think specialization is very important in our business. It's tough to invest in a sector like technology if you're only doing it part-time. Our expertise is technology. We don't focus on other industries. We have financial experts in our firm and operating experts in our firm who do only that. So that mitigates the risk. The other thing is that technology is almost not even a sector unto itself anymore. It's really permeating the rest of the economy. You can't run a hospital today without knowing a lot about healthcare IT. You can't run an oil company today without thinking about clean tech. You can't even run an airline. I'm involved in a company called Sabre Holdings without having software to run crew management, fuel management, cargo management, really everything you can imagine in a plane, even down to the catering. So technology, if you look at our portfolio, is really kind of permeating, and our portfolio is really exposed to every different sector of the economy, from financial services to healthcare to energy, et cetera.
Hey, and Joe, on that note, talk for a second about vertical applications and why that is so important. It's kind of jargon that you hear from everybody now, from day traders to Larry Ellison to SAP. It's all about vertical application. Talk to us about that and why it's so important.
Absolutely. It's interesting to hear that Larry Ellison's saying it now, which I understand. It used to be that the oracles of the world were very focused on what they called horizontal applications. Things like accounting systems, customer relationship management, where the same application was being used across many different industries. And what you're finding now is that people have those basics, but they're looking for solutions that are going to be really relevant to their specific business. It's sort of like when you get your first computer. You know, Windows is great, but you realize you can't really do anything with Windows. It's only the accounting software that helps you with your finances. It's maybe going onto a medical website to look up a health problem that a family member has. It's the exact same thing that's happening in industry right now, where companies out there, they've got their accounting systems, but accounting doesn't really create value in their businesses. They're looking for ways to increase revenue and reduce costs, and that's often specific.
Right.
To an industry. The airline, the thing I mentioned before, you know, fuel management is something that creates a lot of value for airlines. A gallon of jet fuel saved is very relevant.
Right.
It's not that relevant in a healthcare company.
Hey, Joe, we have less than a minute left. I got to ask you, because we're looking at Europe again, and it continues to create nervousness in the market, understandably so. I'm just curious, because one of the implications is the tightening of credit markets again. I'm just curious if you guys, how you're dealing with it as a private equity firm, dealing with the credit market tightening again.
Sure. Great question. Look, we're looking to find great companies. The format is secondary to us. There's some companies that can support leverage. There's others where we don't need the leverage. If you look at the last few deals we've done, Skype was a European-based company, didn't have a lot of leverage. And look, we're looking for growth companies. Leverage will be there to the extent we need it. We're never looking to take the last dollar, though. We're looking for companies that are going to be leaders, where we can help them drive value. In many ways, debt pay down is only one of those ways.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Hey, Joe, great to get some time with you. Thank you so much.
Joe Osnoss there.
Thanks for having me.
From the CFA conference in Boston.